On this episode of Outside of the Box, Christine talks with the Siegel family, creators of Turnabot, the Atlanta-based combat robotics group that seeks to make battling robots easier for families.
As we've been hosting more tournaments lately, it has been so critical to have all five of us.
Yes, it's truly a family adventure.
Yeah. Instead of 3 or 4 weight classes in one arena, we run one weight class in 4 arenas at the same time.
It was a lot of fun, just the energy and the excitement of all these participants.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Outside of the Box. And I know that I haven't, unfortunately, gotten to do a lot specifically robot related in a while, aside from the NHRL stuff. But I'm really excited because Turnabot is something that has been brought up to me a few times and suggested and said, hey, this is something that's really cool and we need to talk about it. And so I have the family behind Turnabot on with me. So if you all want to say hi and just introduce yourselves.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Scott. We're the Siegel family. I would say that we all founded it. So yeah, I'm Scott.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Charlie. I'm Ella.
My name's Caroline.
Truly, everybody has major roles in it. And as we've been hosting more tournaments lately, it has been so critical to have like all five of us.
Yes.
So
it's truly a family adventure.
Yeah.
I can imagine, because the scope of hosting a tournament of any size robot is a pretty big venture to go into. For those that don't know, because I mean, I know that a lot of people are familiar with what you do, but there may be some people who aren't. How exactly did you decide to get started in this and decide to go down the path of the tiny robots, which I think are great, especially for people who are newer and, need something that has a decent price point and that maybe is a little bit easier to kind of get into in the first place?
So the way it really started was we started watching the show BattleBots. And me being like 7 or 8, I said, man, it would be so cool if we could make one of our own. And my dad actually, later, he started looking into it, looking into the cost of the big ones and, the littler ones, 120, then down to 50, 3, 1, 2, and then eventually 150 grams. 150 grams are exponentially cheaper.
we scope crept backwards and then we saw BuggleBots. BuggleBots was a great thing. This was right at the start of COVID, so we were watching that, and I mean they were 3-pounders, and even that was expensive, so we scope crept down to something that we could afford to do.
And we trying to just be at our house, and we were trying to learn about engineering and circuits and electronics and just everything, and realizing that we needed to be able to have bots that could drive against each other just here at our house without having a giant arena. So we kind of started playing with different things and ended up with where we are, which has been fun.
Yeah.
Been an adventure.
We did first make some of the simple spinners and spun them up near each other, and it was like, oh my gosh,
we can't do this.
You can't run these into each other. They'll just be pieces everywhere.
When we first started this whole thing, we knew nothing about what we were doing.
Oh my gosh. So. We're like, we need the kids to be able to learn to drive. So, we started with ones that we could play with over and over and over and over.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I know I can't run at least one of my Beetles in my house at all, because that would be very chaotic. But that's awesome. Now there's the aspect of just making the robots, but what got the idea for you of actually running events and things like that? Because I know that that's a big part of what you do, and setting it up so that other people can also run events in a pretty easy and affordable way.
First, it started off selling. We were just starting off making bots, and we were having our own birthday party actually, and we were like, oh, I wonder if we made up all these bots, if after we're done, because we don't need this many, if anyone would be interested in them. And they were gone like that. So we were like, that's interesting. Maybe we should make, so it kind of grew. And then we realized like all the stuff that we taught our kids through this, and we're both engineers. And we were like, this is something really other people, it would be an easy way for them to start into this world and have, more of the design and the learning how to put.
The clean sheet design just seemed so different than everything else.
Yeah.
Like the business kicked off. I mean, this one pitched us on the Adobe, and she
to design the logo and the look of everything. But then as we started making more and more kits and kind of putting that together to where other people could start to build them, then it was like, oh, well, we really need to have some place for people to be able to actually use these more. And so that's when we started kind of come up with like tournaments, but we are super busy. All three of our kids do all different things. We just got done with the Georgia State swim meet, and we had a talent show where Charlie did yo-yoing and Caroline does acting. So we stayed so busy. We were like, how do we fit this into everything else we have going on? So we kind of designed a tournament that could be run like in a much more a shorter, more condensed time period, running multiple arenas at the same time, because we were like, how do we make it so that if you have all this other stuff going on, that you can still make this a part of your life if you want to be able to do this.
I mean, you called it. You said it needs to be like youth soccer, where it's a Saturday morning thing. You can have 2 or 3 hours on a Saturday morning. We thought that would
might be
key to going mainstream.
For more people to be able to get involved. So
instead of 3 or 4 weight classes in one arena, we run one weight class in 4 arenas at the same time.
Right.
So
it's just a little bit different, but it has, I think, kind of a different purpose.
A different feel. The idea being like you can do this, and then anybody can host an event with a minimal amount of staff.
Mm-hmm.
In general, like we only need judges 1% of the time.
Right.
And the 5 of us have run several tournaments with some additional volunteer help. But with the 4 arenas, like we open the doors at 9 a.m. Battling starts at 10 a.m. and we are wrapped by noon. So that's it. Up to 32 competitors.
Right.
So we can run 32 competitors through mostly double elimination in less than 2 hours of battling.
And it's because we our tournaments were based on scoring points. So it's the first to 5. And we have pits. So it makes so that people, it's a lot of about sportsmanship, and people really are really gracious about who they think got a point or not, or should they start it, and then, but we're running a timer that all 4 arenas at the same time, everyone's going, and we have a countdown timer going. So it's really funny. The last tournament we did was out in California, at the Discovery Cube, and we had parents coming up to us, and they were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was going to be so stressful. Like, this was supposed to be just super laid back and just fun, but everyone was just absolutely cheering and had every camera out, and it was a lot of fun, just the energy and the excitement of all these participants.
So it was a blast, and the kids were amazing. It seemed really low stress to us because everybody knew each other, so we could be like, where is Green Goblin? And they'd be like, oh, that's Joe, I'll go get him, and just run off.
It was really fun.
It was
made
fun.
Things a lot easier.
Well, that's really awesome. I mean, aside from the tournaments too, I mean, obviously you have your website, Turnabot.com, and people can go on there for resources. Obviously, if they want to buy bots, if they want to buy a box, there's lots of things that they can do. I'm actually curious to ask all of the kids if there is a favorite design of the bots that you have, if there's one that you like in particular more than the others.
I mean, they requested their designs. Charlie always wanted a real flipper, so that's where Slipper got started. This one saw a horizontal grabber from the UK, and that developed into Squeezy and Squeezer. Ended up making friends with another guy in the UK who designed Mantis, and we ended up working together to develop Santis. So that's my bot with the independent, arms and flipper.
Yeah.
So it just, everybody got to choose what they wanted.
Yeah.
Someday she'll pick one. Maybe.
That's funny. Now having done this for a bit of time, I mean, are you happy sticking with this weight class, or is there ever a thought of, going into doing like ant weights or something that's a little bit bigger? I'm sure, when you have success with one thing, it just eventually parlays into something more eventually.
So we fulfill the Scar plant drive kits now. So all the Scar plant kits, the drive portion, are all from us, which has been amazing to see how that's grown. And we've had
And you designed one of the.
Yeah. So I both versions, we were asked to design one that would get, like, the models were free and posted on Malice's website. But we've been begged by several teachers and distributors to do a 1 pound kit that's as comprehensive as a Turnabot kit.
Mhm.
So we are in the process of that right now. We were also asked to do a Tinkercad catalog. So we're actually going to do a full catalog in Tinkercad for doing a 1 pound bot. And those files will be given away.
I actually have competed with 1 pound bots, me and my dad. We've gone to a few competitions that are also fairy weights and just threw in our 1 pounders just for fun to see what would happen. And they've done pretty well, but they still need some designing. And like, we got to improve a little bit.
He finished third at Dragon Con last year in the full combat 1 pound.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, I know a lot of people go to that competition. It's quite popular. So that's pretty awesome. Aside from like kind of getting into that, do you have any future projects at this point that you're working on or thinking about or anything like that?
Ooh, you want to tell about the wheels or?
So I don't know if you've seen, we've posted a few teaser pictures of, at first it was just a 5 kilo weight hanging from a hub, but with a new design of it's a motor and wheel hub system that is easily installable. Like, she can install it no problem, the little one, removable, reusable, and we hung 10 kilograms, 22 pounds off of it, and it did not come off. Want to play with and see what the real limit is, but it basically makes the wheel completely unremovable from it. And it's the collet. I've posted pictures of it. It's a collet and a tapered thread design, and that with some tricks on the motors, we're really excited about, because the vast majority of matches where people are using N20 motors are lost by losing a wheel. So if it becomes impossible to lose a wheel,
that's a big.
the matches go on longer, and particularly for control bots. Like, that's my thing is, we don't usually knock off other people's wheels, so we have to win in other ways. But if we can keep our wheels on, then we can win more matches. And by we, I mean everybody running a Turnabot.
Yeah. In several competitions, I could have made a higher ranking if the spinner hadn't gotten to me. Like, RMS got me and my dad just by taking off our wheels.
All of them.
Ditto got me in the nationals by taking off my wheels
At the national championship. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we call getting broncoed.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. They do call it getting dittoed out there. When ditto takes off both your wheels, you've been dittoed.
We're really. Oh
Yeah. The learning management system.
yeah.
That's certainly a
We
big
had-
project.
We have we're really trying to create much more comprehensive instructions that have better videos, better descriptions that kind of you can go through like login. So that's something we're kind of working on right now, is putting all of that together, because we've made a lot of updates to our bots that haven't come out yet, but trying to make them even easier, especially for if you're going to use them like in a classroom or a club or something like that makes them a little bit, we just learn tricks. So
Well, and our initial target audience was builders that were like already building, or first time builders who were kind of already in it. But now there's so many classes that are using it, and we have normal teachers who are not necessarily
Roboteers
they're not roboteers. They're not used to just making things work. And you get a normal teacher with a class of young middle schoolers,
right.
and there's so many little things we can do to remove frustrations they get to them.
So they're not any less in their functionality.
Right.
They just have some things that make them a little bit more user friendly on putting them together and a little less frustrating. So we're trying to update everything to kind of reflect, to have all of our latest, tricks, I think. So
and we'll give away those mechanisms, like how we do them. Because I think it promotes better designs out there.
Right. So we're kind of trying to use our instructions to talk about why do we go about doing it this way, or what is a trick to make this work better, or and also kind of trying to give away some of the things that you could do next. Like if you have this, what can you add to it to take it to a full combat competition? Like what are the next steps, or what can you design to make this more of your own? So it doesn't just stop with what we're doing. We're trying to just be kind of the springboard to helping people kind of get started and know where to begin.
We've worked hard on our tagline, so I do want to say it. Like, Turnabot exists to inspire and cultivate a passion for practical engineering, and we really worked through all of that. Like, that's the coolest thing to see is and that's like one of the best things I've seen in the classes is if they can get them done and have a competition and then a day in between and then a second competition, because as soon as people compete, they start thinking about like, oh my gosh, if I had this different, if I had this on my bot, I would do better. So like to give kids the chance to compete, tweak, and compete again, like I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That is really cool. And just in case, I mean, I know there's the website, of course, but is there anywhere else, on socials, YouTube, anything where people can find, what you're doing, interact, watch videos or anything like that?
So YouTube, we have a decent YouTube channel that has a lot of videos, a fair number of videos that are not linked from the website. So I would say go to the YouTube channel and poke around. You'll see matches. You'll see some super single takes where I just set up the camera and built the bot underneath it, and I'm narrating but not pausing or anything, just running through it. We're in all the Facebook groups. We have a couple of TikTok videos, Discords. I think I'm probably at more than 20 Discords, but people are welcome to reach out to us by email. We get a lot of messages just on the website, Facebook. Hit us on Facebook or Discord, or we try to be reachable wherever people try to reach out to us.
That's usually a good plan for success. Well, that's awesome. I mean, I really love, anybody who tries to promote, getting more folks into this and getting into combat robotics, because it's just about kind of dipping your toe in. And then I find that typically once people do that, then they're kind of hooked. So I think that it's really great. But yeah, so please make sure if you're watching this, you haven't already, check out Turnabot's website, check out the YouTube, see what they're doing, because it's really cool stuff. And obviously, if you're watching this, please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, comment. We're now 45 away as of the time of recording from hitting 1,000 subscribers. So nice. Everybody who knows me knows that's a big goal of mine. So it would be really awesome to do. But keep watching. Thank you, Siegel family, for coming on the show. It was really great to talk to all of you, and we'll see everybody next time.
Yeah, thank you so for having us. Thank you for all that you do. It really is great.